Black Ops 7 beta is here, and we do have one zombies map that we get to play, but it's a small portion of the larger reimagined transit map. Yesterday, I made a video talking about how you could get out of the map and access an area that I wasn't sure if we were or weren't supposed to access. Looks like you're not supposed to go there because they did patch it, but in the training mode, you could access a teleporter and jump over there. There was one huge thing I didn't notice until today about the training mode. If you go into the TAC map, you can see the entire map and the layout and all the other playable locations. If you go into the survival mode and play zombies, it only lets you see that small survival map, but the training mode lets you see everything, and I'm not sure if they even want us seeing this much. I did a live breakdown of going through the map, zooming way in, brightening it up in my Photoshop, and showing all of the details. So let's have a look at that. Okay, so we'll start here where the farm is and what we have access to now. And you can just see it kind of cut off there. And there's a gate right here. Let's check that out. But I guess you're gonna have to like bust through with a vehicle and get through this area with, it looks like fog, but it looks like dark ether fog, so that's a nice touch. Over here you can see these are the fallen towers of the Janus towers. And this is the lava going off to the right here. And if you go up, I didn't see a whole lot out here. It's obviously kind of hard to see. But this is taking you to the Janus towers. And obviously you can see like the fallen building there. We'll go to the next image. So this is the very top of the map here. Again, it's like one big circle. And so this is the Janus Towers area. And it looks like, you know, we're not going to be going actually inside the Janus Towers. That was one thing I was wondering about. We will be accessing this building here. And I showed that in my previous video. I was wondering if we were going to be able to get in that. It was like an office. So we will be going in there. But yeah, we've seen all this area in my last video. Definitely a survival area. And I didn't see anything else, you know, really remarkable. Obviously, Wonder Fizz is showing there as an icon. So let's go towards the bottom here. Now when you take, it's kind of hard to see here, but when you take this teleporter, it says that if you go this direction, you're going to Blackwater Lake. And then that takes you back to the farm. And again, there is a gate here that I guess you have to drive through, bust that open, and you'll be heading towards Blackwater Lake. Now this is where we saw all those crystals, you know, when we were flying over. And by the way, they did patch that where we were not supposed to get out of the map. I thought maybe we were, and no, they patched that real fast. So it's cool we got to see it when we did. So that's where all those like dark ether crystal formations are. That looks really awesome. And I think I have to go to the next image, down one. So this is going to take us down here to what you see is the pyramid on the left. And I was wondering, like, where's the lake? This is the lake. It looks like the pyramid is in the middle of a lake. And I think this is the Blackwater Lake location. This has that house that I was talking about in my previous video. I was like, I see a house there all lit up. Are we going to access it yet? This looks like a major area because you do have the fast travel teleport. And then you've got the workbench and the arsenal here, and there are going to be 3 buildings here that we can access. So this is going to be a big focal point, and I don't know if this is going to be the spawn point, but this is definitely the farm might be the spawn point. But this is a very large playable area, maybe one of the largest ones. You can see right here, this looks like a dock that you're going to walk out on, and yeah, get a very nice look at that pyramid. So that is very cool. There's not a lot else going on here. And then if you go down, you still, yeah, you've got a couple of more buildings on your way out. Now, if it's going to be a situation where, you know, you got to bust through these with a vehicle, and then this area is really dangerous to be in. Like, the zombies don't stop spawning, and it's like highly volatile. It's like, how are you going to access these buildings? That will be fun to see. Might be a tricky situation. All right, let's go further down. And this is going to be the center of the map. So it's one big circle, but it connects in the center. And one thing I thought was pretty cool is if you look at these icons, they might be kind of hard to see, but they are what appears to be zip line icons. And these top ones have down arrows, meaning they're on a lower level. So I don't know. And there's 4 here. So I guess when you're here, you're going to be able to zip line out to possibly the locations. We do have a, let's show this here. We do have a fast travel right here and right here. One that looks like it's kind of outside the map. So I'm not sure why that is outside the map. And I'm real curious to see what that square object is. We do have one building here that is accessible in the very center. And let's move over here to the key, or the points of interest. You can see that, yeah, it's got exfil, pack-a-punch, crafting table, arsenal, wonder fizz, perk machine, ammo cache, gobble gum, machine door buys. Now, we don't see any gobble gums on here or ammo caches. It's just showing mainly the arsenal, the wonder fizz, and the crafting table. No door buys are being shown, or power doors. No weapon wall buys. Mystery box, workbench, trap, rampage inducer. But there's no actual thing to tell us, you know, that these are zip lines or what's going on. So those have been left off. I think that's pretty interesting. All right, so let's continue down. We're going counterclockwise. So we were up here in the center. We're moving down here from Blackwater Lake. Now this is the diner location, and you can see this right here appears to be the very large diner sign, I think, and I'm guessing this is the gas station next to it, and this being the diner, you know, itself. So what's interesting is that we are now going to be going around the back and front side of the diner, whereas before, you know, we had access to only the front of the diner. So that's going to be fun to see how they recreated that. We've got one fast travel here. We do have a workbench. We do have an arsenal machine. So this is going to be another major, you know, playable area. So can't see a whole lot else going on here. I've got it brightened up a bunch, so it's might be a little bit difficult to see, but that's going to be very cool. And I'm wondering how this is going to compare to where the diner is in comparison to this map and the original Transit. Like, is it in the same location versus the farm? I haven't really looked into that too much. I'd like to know that. All right, so let's continue on to the lower right of the map. So you've got, you know, off to the left here, that is where you're seeing the diner. So now we're having a look at the bottom right of the map. Now this is a portion of Ascension, and if you look at the multiplayer map launch and that map Eagle Eye View preview, you can see how this portion of the map does line up. And shout out to Bailey for this information. Back in the day, I was told that Revelations for Black Ops 3, that map, was supposed to have a portion of Ascension, but I don't know if they ran out of time, they ran out of memory and space, I don't know, but it didn't make it. And that info was told straight to me from Treyarch. So it's cool to see we're now getting this portion of Ascension in a current map. Also on Ascension location, there appears to be zip lines as well. These have up arrows indicating that they're going to be on an upper platform. You've got a fast travel there, and then you've got some buildings you're going to be able to access. So I'll move up here. We're going to start going up. And this is just you know, from the Ascension area. So this was the Ascension area. We're coming up. This looks like, you know, this is going to be quite a bit to traverse. It would be tough to do like on foot. Apparently it would be too dangerous. So we'll move up here. I didn't see anything too notable. It's very hard to make out a lot of what's going on here. Now I do see a large tower here, communications tower or something, and we do see those in transit. And then we're gonna go up, and this again takes us back to the center of the map. So it's like the map, it's like a big figure, like an 8, a figure 8. That how this map is laid out. And then we'll keep going up. This area, to me, I can't tell. There's not a lot going on here. There's no arsenal. There's no crafting table. It doesn't really look like there's any buildings to go inside. It's possible that this is a cemetery of some sort. Typically when you see, you know, that kind of landscape, eagle eye view, you're looking at, you know, maybe a cemetery. And we do have a church and, you know, all that in transit, so I'm not sure if that's, you know, what that is. But this looks like little walkways, possibly. I wonder if this is this a full building? Like, maybe this is Nocturne Toten or something? I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. We do know that in Nocturne Toten and transit, there is nothing going on in that building. So it's possible that this is, you know, like that. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. I really stared at it for a while, and I just cannot make out or tell what's going on in there. It could, you know, it looks like it could be like a Nocturne Toten building with ruins, like we do see in transit. Also, the Van Dorn farm is north of this, and it's showing that south of it is a place called Ashwood. So I don't know if this is Ashwood or if it's going to be Ascension is Ashwood. But let me know if you guys have already seen this. If you haven't, go into training mode, check out the map, and if I missed something, definitely comment down below.